You know, both of these parties, I'm convinced, they have known this for a long time. They have driven us into debt, but we have helped it. We want things. We wanted this program. We wanted that program. There's a group of people who wanted health care reform. They wanted free health care. There is nothing that's free. Take the money out of this pocket, give it to the government. That's what we do. The government makes no money. They don't have any kind of revenue-driving influence anywhere within this country other than to tax us and take it out of our pockets, the hard-working Americans. We're starting to wake up now. You know, the old phrase was a day late and dollar short. Well, we're about 30 years late, and right now we're probably about $40 to $50 trillion short. How are we going to fix this? Stop spending is a real good way. Do you hear that from Washington? If you look on the internet and watch every day, and you go to the congressional website, every day they propose another bill that's going to cost us something. And when they don't fund it, they send it back to the state or whoever wanted it, a county or whatever, as an unfunded mandate. We still got to take it out of our pocket. It's like you take $10 out of your pocket for education. You send the $10 to Washington, and Washington sends you back too. Where'd the other $8 go? What if we kept this money in our own state, in our own community? What if we said, this is enough. We're finished. We're not giving you another dime. You know what really scares me and bothers me is the guys who are doing this, and women, they all work for us. They're our representatives. We put them there. We've allowed them to stay there. This is the biggest wake-up call in America ever. And we can't just sit back on our duff and watch American Idol and pray and hope for the best and say, I hear it a lot, I don't like to get involved in politics. You know, I don't like to talk about politics. It'll work itself out. Well, you know what? We've been saying that for 30 years now, and look where we're at. This nation has never been in debt like this before. And people say, well, what if China forecloses on us? They can't. We're their #1 customer. We need to become independent in this country and start producing things on our own again. And the incentives are real simple. Stop taxing us. What if we kept this money here in the state, or my county, or my town, or my city? What if I kept my $10 for education? If I kept all that money here, we'd have more money than we know what to do with. The county I live in takes 61% of all property tax for education. I'm sorry, kids, but we have some of the dumbest kids in the country right now that we're developing. And I know we don't want to say that's not politically correct. But we have a couple generations, we have really shortchanged here. And if we don't get back on the road of innovation and independence in this nation, we will fail. We're only 233 years old. The deck has been stacked against us from the very day that they declared their independence. And if we don't get a mentality, we're Americans. We're not Asian Americans, we're not Black Americans, we're not Polish Americans, we're not German Americans, we're not Mexican Americans. We're Americans. We're all in this together, and we get that mentality, we first throw everybody out of Washington, D.C. that we can. Because if we don't do something soon, there are people in this country that are fed up and to the point that they're loading their guns, they're buying ammunition. Look at the gun sales and all these gun shows. This is not a joke. You got states talking about secession. We have 22 states right now that are sitting here and pass bills to say, we're not getting in the health care reform bill, but vote with you guys. And they continue to play with this concept. It's a losing battle. We can win this battle on the 2nd of November. When we wake up on the 3rd of November and realize that we kicked the majority of them folks out of the House of Representatives. You know, the Founding Fathers were either being funny or real smart. I make a joke sometimes when I'm speaking with people about the Founding Fathers and about the House of Representatives. You know, that's supposed to be the most powerful branch of our government. They're the watchdogs. They're not there to bring home the bacon to us and build a new bridge, or to help build a new school, or dedicate a baseball field to Stan Musial, or Babe Ruth or something, or some famous baseball or sports person. They're the watchdogs for this nation, for all Americans, not just for the district or the state, for all Americans. They're our watchdogs. They're the ones supposed to watch that anything that comes across that table from the president or anybody else that's not within the constitutional authority, the 18 enumerated powers, that they stop it right there. 99% of every bill passed just in the last 50 years is unconstitutional. They had no business in it in the first place. And when we sit here and want these things, we need to wake up and realize that the money's coming out of your pocket. And if it's not, then you're getting it from somebody else's pocket, because the government doesn't generate any revenue except to take it from us. And I know I'm a little harsh about this, but I'm tired of hearing about, we don't want a third party, we don't want to vote these independents, we're going to drive a wedge between these guys. We'll lose the election. The Republicans will lose power, the Democrats will stay in power. They're as much trouble as the GOP is. So we need to really wake up here. We need to take a hard look at this economic situation. When your checkbook's empty, do you write a check for a new car? No. I asked a couple weeks ago when I was talking, they said, well, there's a lot of good things the government does when they take it and they fund these things. I said, like what? I said, used to be a tax and spend, a spend and then tax. Spend the money, figure out where it comes from. And I said, I'll tell you what, I'll take you to the Cadillac dealer this coming Saturday. And I want you to go pick out the nicest Cadillac on the lot, but I don't want you to ask the price or how much it's going to cost you a month. I want you to pick out the nicest car. When you're done, I want you to go in and sign a blank contract. And when you're all done signing it, take delivery of the car, then you ask them how much it costs. That's completely insane. Well, that's what's going on in Washington. They're writing a bill for health care, ignoring that everybody has told them that has any sense that it won't work. We don't have the money to do it. We're broke. And they want to continue to write a bill and ignore the Congressional Budget Office, and they need the figures to jockey them around to say, it's not going to cost us anything. Nothing in life is free. I'm sure you all heard the phrase, freedom is not free. So we need to get off our rear ends here, get out in these Tea Party protests, go to the local meetings where there's citizens that are concerned about the taxes in your own county. Start in your local towns, cities, and counties, and stop those politicians at the head right there. Stop them in their tracks. And then we'll start on these guys in Washington. Send guys like me to Washington. Where's Mr. Smith? If you've never seen the movie with Jimmy Stewart, find it. And I'll give you a little known fact about that. When that movie was done, both parties in this country tried to bribe the producers and the studio not to show that movie. And that was almost 60 years ago. Because it showed the truth about the corruption and the collusion between two parties, both parties, to perpetuate their power and keep us enslaved. We need to stop this now. Your opportunity and your bullet is your vote on the 2nd of November. Anywhere you're at in this country, find an independent. Find someone who's not affiliated with any party. Find the unknown. And even if you don't like what they do, you're going to kick them out in 2 years and put somebody else in there. We need to get in that mentality. We need to get rid of career politicians now. This is our chance. This is the real revolution in this country. You want America back? You can take it back with your vote. Stop sitting around and hoping for something to work out and change. Hope and change, how's that working out for you folks?